And good morning, everybody. How are you all out there? April 8th. This is Thoughts Count Anywhere coming to you live from the WWDB-TV studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our faithful traveling son has returned after a great weekend in California. Mr. Matt Mullen there on the end. How are you?
Woohoo! Guess who's back?
The boys
The
are
WrestleMania
back.
man
That's right.
himself.
And the man sitting next to me, simply known by the Chief.
Good morning,
Good morning.
everybody.
How's everybody today?
Outstanding.
Fantastic.
You're still riding a high from being there last week.
Hell yeah.
Right? As you can see, we got some WrestleMania stuff here, and Matt was gracious enough to bring some stuff back for us. Yes, sir.
You know what?
Wow.
702-992-3207.
867-530-99.
Yes.
That is our phone number, not the one I did, the one the Chief did. 702-992-3207. We would love your input regarding WrestleMania 39 weekend, the sale, NXT,
The potty
Impact, the who?
The bathroom breaks.
Oh, the bathroom. Yeah, what was your, good morning, Ronald. What match was your potty break? Anything you want to talk about? But we have a funny feeling that today's show is going to be heavy on WrestleMania and the sale of WWE and UFC together. But thank you for watching us on Facebook, whether it's on our show page, the Thoughts Count Anywhere show page, or you have the WWDB TV Facebook page. YouTube, same channels, WWDB TV on YouTube, Thoughts Count Anywhere show on YouTube. Of course, download if you're on the road, got to do something, taking kids to soccer, food shopping, whatever it is, getting ready for Easter, middle of Passover. Download the WWDB TV phone app to your Android, WWDB TV LV to your iPhones. And if you are watching us on YouTube, you can send us messages and comments. John can pick them up. Our Snickers boy back there can get it for us. Right? As well as on Facebook, we're monitoring the chat rooms right here. So, hi.
Hi.
Hey, Ronald, I just want to say, again, thank you very much for standing in last week with us. Greatly appreciate it. But you know what? It's great. It's fantastic to have Matt back.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ronald did a great job last week. I put him on the spot about 30 minutes before I went on the air.
Yeah.
After I found out Thomas was not feeling well and not coming in.
Yes.
Obviously, we know Chief and I can do the show without assistance. However, in your absence,
Chief can do it by himself.
all right, let's go have breakfast, Matt.
All right, see you guys later.
We'll see you in a couple hours. But yeah, Ronald, thank you. I literally called him like on my way here last week, and he said absolutely, and he did a great job for his first. He's no longer a podcast virgin.
No, he
He
did.
popped his
You
chair.
popped the cherry.
Yeah.
Way to go, Ronald. We appreciate it. And also, Ronald is helping me try to get the Savannah Bananas here so we get, well, they're coming here, but in touch with them. We're working on that still to get them on the show in a couple of weeks. All right. Listen, a lot's going on, but before we get to all of that, how was your week since we last met here?
Outstanding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Other than what we know about, it's been great.
Good.
Been fantastic.
Well, every day we at least see ourselves in the mirror in the morning.
Oh, no,
Right?
no. I
After that, it's all gravy in a way, right?
I have neuropathy, folks, and it tears me down sometimes. But you know what? The Chief's here. The Chief's ready to go, and I'll deal with it.
There you
Ain't
go.
no problem.
Absolutely. You the man.
Hey, but you know what? Is the Savannah Bananas, are they sold out
I heard
Yeah.
when
at
I
the stadium?
when
The
I asked
tickets are sold out.
when I asked the marketing manager who I was just in touch with, I said, "Can you get us tickets?" No tickets are available for any of the dates.
There was so much of a demand for him. You almost had to win like a lottery looking
Yeah.
thing to get tickets.
So even if I was to try to go over to the stadium to buy tickets, I couldn't. There's
You'd have to buy them like from somebody.
from
Yeah,
a
you'd have to go.
scalper.
Yeah, exactly.
How about press passes?
I ain't doing that.
I actually inquired about that. I haven't heard anything about that either. So
Oh.
maybe in advance for their next year's visits,
I
but
can print out some press passes for us.
makeshift press passes. Great.
All right, anyway.
Anyway,
Hey,
I could have used those last week.
yes,
it worked. Did it really?
yeah.
What did you say? You could have used
I
what?
said I could have used those last week.
Oh, yeah. You're a week late, John. Anyway, Ronald says,
You have to ask.
that's true. Last week's show was good. Matt and Matt, I am wearing my Story Time with Matt shirt right now.
Nice.
So thank you, Ronald. I know I don't have to ask you how your week was. I mean, it's obviously a given. But I got to tell you, I said it to you before on the air, the pictures you took from where you were, I lived vicariously through you at WrestleMania because that's how great your seats were, first of all. The pictures you took were tremendous. The couple of videos you include in there as well was great.
I got plenty more.
I can't wait till you post everything you have. It'll be great to see all that.
I
But
think between like all the events, I got like 1,500 pictures.
holy crap.
Good morning,
Yes,
Brandy.
yes. Morning, Brandy. Good to see you out there, of course. I know, but I can say hello to her too, can I? Am I not allowed to?
Yeah.
My
Okay.
week was
What's that
fun
one?
for the weekend, but we came back Tuesday at like 4 o'clock,
In the morning.
and I
or the
was at work
afternoon?
at 4:30.
Evening, afternoon, you're talking about? Holy shnikes. So
And I've been running ever since.
I was going to say, did you just wake up this morning from getting home then, sleeping all the way through?
You're welcome,
It was
sister.
wild.
Man, oh man. Ronald says right before I called him, he was falling asleep, but then I got the call and I got wide awake all of the last week. So, all right, good wake up call again. Thank you, Ronald. It was great having you with us. We'll do it, again over time and have them partake live.
Absolutely.
Oh, so she thanks you for acknowledging her, and she's not thanking me.
Because, well, never mind.
No,
I'm
anyway,
not
let's get to
saying-
it. Let's get
go.
to some rumors, shall we, please? Rumor is Drew McIntyre's contract is coming up. He might not renew with WWE. Where would you like to see Drew go? According to a report last night, we know he was pulled off of SmackDown last minute. They say medical reasons, after effect from his hard-fought match, WrestleMania. But apparently, Drew is not happy with the dollars involved in his contract and with creative. And we've heard that part before regarding creative, right? So all of that taken into account, under the presumption he does not resign. Matt, let's give it a think. What would be your not prognosis, projections?
Prognostication.
That's the word I want.
He's gonna end up in AEW if he ends up anywhere.
Okay.
So he'd be like a huge get for AEW. I kind of get where he's coming with the creative thing, just because he was champion during the whole pandemic era, and they've never given him his just due and let him win a title in front of
A
a large
audience.
amount of people.
Yep.
He deserves that pop of winning a championship.
Totally agree. I'm in agreement with that. It would be sad. I know April Hahn would be very disappointed if he leaves because she's a big fan of Drew's. Chief, how about you? What do you see potentially for the future for Drew McIntyre if he doesn't stick around with WWE?
The only thing, I mean, realistically, the only thing that really makes sense is AEW.
Okay.
Although, hey, could he go to Impact? Could he go to New Japan? Absolutely. Absolutely. Could he go back across the pond to one of the wrestling organizations over in England? Possibly. That would be a possibility. I would say, though, on the grand stage, it's got to be AEW.
And it's funny because before the show went on, you and I were talking about the growth of Impact and all these other ones.
Yes, sir.
A guy like Drew McIntyre, you would think would help a company like Impact or some of these other, certainly New Japan would benefit from him. But everybody's logical choice is always whoever leaves WWE goes to AEW, whoever's leaving AEW comes to WWE. And now, as jumping ahead a little bit, there was rumors at one point FTR was thinking about possibly coming back to WWE. But it sounds like now that they won the tag titles the other night and Vince coming back, doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Oh no! Good troll job, FTR.
Yeah, right. All right. Next rumor. Talks between WWE and Jay Wright never got out of the preliminary stages. Of course, I believe he signed eventually with AEW this week, correct?
Yep.
So why don't we talk about it? What do we have on that beside? Was it that they never really happened as much as the media was reporting that was an opportunity?
Something I saw, it said that WWE had already started working out long-term scenarios for him to wrestle in WWE,
Yeah.
but the contract never came through, to him sign it. So that's why we didn't see him for a while. Then he went to AEW.
That story frustrated me just because they said they came up with all these long-term storylines for somebody that they're talking to.
Right.
Why not come up with long-term storylines for, I don't know, like a Karrion Kross or some other big person that's already, like, I don't know, signed to your company?
I was going to say, that's right. Use what you have, right? You have tools in your toolbox, for crying out loud. Go ahead and use them.
I was like, if you have to look, I think one's a little bit more of a moneymaker than Jay White.
Easily. Because with the other one, you get two for the price of one.
Yeah.
You know, you get Killer and, of course, Scarlett, too. 702-992-3207. 702-992-3207. And a special shout out to everybody who might be listening to us. And I expect there to be a lot of people out on the apps, as well as you're driving around town, taking care of your chores, your kids, whatever you need to do. Take us on the go. As a side note to Drew McIntyre, his contract ends in July. So let's go under the presumption for just 1 second that he doesn't renew. What do you do with McIntyre between now and the time his contract ends? Do you pay him? Do you pay him for sitting at home, like what's happening with Vicky Guerrero right now in AEW? We know she's not renewing. She's being paid to sit home for the next couple of months. How do you use Drew? Do you use Drew at all, or what do you do with that?
Personally,
Mhm.
if he's going to let it be known that he's not going to resign, okay,
Mhm.
I think it would be a mistake not to use him.
Mhm.
But if the Gestapo-looking guy that's in charge of WWE now,
The Tapatio man?
yeah, the
Do we have the
Tapatio man,
picture
that's
of our,
it.
do we
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
picture of our
the
new owner
Tapatio
there
man.
now?
If
We can bring this up when you get a chance there, Mr. Producer. Go ahead.
if
Oh,
if
there he
he's
is.
if he's in fact in charge, you know, I could see Drew not wanting to be on TV,
Right.
and not wanting to re-sign with WWE. Although, and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, wasn't Drew McIntyre one of the Gestapo's boys?
Oh, he was the
Didn't he-
chosen
he-
one.
he brought him
originally.
back, right?
He was the chosen one the first go
But
around.
now,
wasn't he?
he's gone because now the Intercontinental, or not the Intercontinental, the U.S. champ is the boy now.
Right, Theory.
Theory.
Right.
So I mean, you know, half dozen, they got to pay him.
Right, he's going to be paid either way.
He's going to be paid either
But
way.
you're not going to, I don't think you use him in a good storyline regarding any championships. If he's not sticking around, you're not putting a belt on him.
I
I was going to put everybody over for a couple months.
Right.
I would hope that as a professional wrestler, he doesn't forget the fans and he takes care of the fans.
Drew is like the nicest dude probably on the roster.
You know what I'm saying. You take care of the fans.
Mhm.
So perform. That's what I.
I don't think he'll tank anything
No,
when he's out in the
no,
ring.
No.
But the question is, I don't want to see what happened to Dean Ambrose / now John Moxley at the end of his tenure with the stupid gimmicks with the gas mask, you people stink, and all of that in this last month. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that to anybody that may be leaving. I'd sooner say, look, protect the guy's reputation and let him sit home if you're going to kind of throw that garbage out at somebody. But I agree. He'll do what he has to do, given what they ask him to do publicly.
Or the Gestapo guy trying to make creative articles of clothing for his wrestlers to wear.
You mean make him look like a
Idiot.
there you go.
There, I'll call it what it is.
All right. Rumors Trish could turn heel on Lita and Becky and cost them the titles coming up.
I kind of hope so.
I thought that was going to happen. I think we were all sort of thinking that might happen at WrestleMania, that something was going to happen there in the 6 women tag match, but it didn't, obviously.
Is it Renee Gonzalez and what's her name's wrestling Trish and Lita Monday night?
Raquel Rodriguez
That's
and
it,
Liv
yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you're back to keep my ass straight. I'm glad. Anyway, maybe that's when it's going to happen, and the belts are going to change right Monday night.
So let's add this fly to the ointment a little bit.
You know what I'm doing? I'm flexing my back like my girl.
Do we need traction now for you?
Shit,
Back there.
Like I pulled something.
So this past Monday night on Raw, and I'm kind of jumping around a little bit,
Monday
Bailey
Night
was
Raw.
pulled from Raw last
Yeah,
second.
can you believe
right?
that? What the hell's up with that?
Well, again,
Look at that, man.
rumors,
That's awesome.
rumors and conversations. There you go.
There he is,
There he is.
my man Drew. Yeah, buddy.
So Matt is entertaining us with some of his entrance videos he took last week up here. But anyway,
You'll all be seeing
So-
him sometime.
what if Lita Not Lita. Trish.
Trish,
She
don't
turns.
get excited.
No, she turns, right?
Yes.
What if she now takes over damage control leadership if Bailey's done? Because Bailey also not happy with the return from, again, reports, not being in the back room, but just using that for conversation. Let's presume she was unhappy. Let's presume for a moment she's going by way of Sasha and Naomi just walking out on creative, because we know how tight Bailey and Sasha are, or was it Monet, whatever. Maybe if Trish does turn, maybe she becomes a new direction for those two, maybe not under damage control, but if she could turn heel, can she turn heel enough on her own to make an impact versus being the leader of her faction now as a heel?
I think Lita's lost a couple steps.
Oh, I
So
agree.
definitely, I don't think there's going to be a long-term storyline. I think it's just to get the belts off of those two.
Okay.
And maybe we get like a Becky versus Trish match out of this. And then I'm pretty sure Lita and Trish just go away.
Okay.
I think it's just going to last until like Backlash, and then we get Becky, Trish, and off to the sunset they go until Vince runs out of ideas for
Becky and Trish, or Trish and Lita?
Oh, Trish and Lita go off into the sunset.
Okay. I agree. Lita did not look all that good in her match on WrestleMania weekend.
See, and the thing is, with Trish doing the health and the fitness and everything that she does, she's in fantastic shape for her age.
Absolutely.
And I think, and I agree with you, Matt. I think she's got one more match in her.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then some. But could it be Monday night that we see the belts change?
I think so.
Could be.
You know,
Absolutely. I don't think
you'd be happy.
Liv Morgan for champ, baby.
See,
Oh, absolutely. I think she got the raw end of the deal with Ronda and that whole title thing with Ronda. Too.
but I want to get back to Bailey.
Yeah, let's. Yeah,
All right?
sure.
And I want to get back to Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
When you have
Make your points, then we'll go to break.
when you have especially a person like Bailey who carried the company through COVID,
Absolutely.
and she's getting possibly a raw deal again
Oh, nicely done.
by the Gestapo guy. You know what? I just I just want to smack him. I do. But how much of it's true?
Obviously, we won't know
You
until
know?
we actually see things play out. But without the food for fodder behind stage, because we're not there to actually witness things and make
Exactly.
our own reports,
Exactly.
we kind of have to talk about what is being reported, rumor-wise or otherwise, and
Yes.
that's what makes our show fun. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're heading into our first break. When we come back, we're going to start diving into the matches and such from last week's WrestleMania card. We want your input, 702-992-3207. Give us a call with what you thought was your best match, worst match, best highlight, whatever you want. We want to hear from you regarding WrestleMania 39. You're watching TCA. We'll be right back.
Aloha, this is April Hom, the Royal Hawaiian from Glow, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is your Warlord of Weird, Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere, that's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch. Okay.
Hey there. Oh, welcome back, gentlemen. Hello, Jennifer out in Hawaii. Good to see you out there.
Morning,
tuning in with
Jen.
us. She is enjoying her morning coffee at this point.
Hey,
Sun's
did you
just
see
waking
that
up there.
beautiful picture she put on Facebook?
The
yesterday?
rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at her classroom. See, the old guy, he's observing.
Well, I
what-
watched that
what
too. That's
going-
why I
what
said
goes
yeah.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great shot, Jennifer.
Just checking.
Jennifer, for those who don't remember, Jennifer McCord out in Hawaii, she's a kindergarten teacher out there.
Yes,
She
she
was
is.
in her school Friday or Thursday, whatever it was. She took a beautiful picture of a rainbow. But here's what's ironic. You know what the football team is called out there?
The Rainbow Warriors.
There you go. So it's rather apropos.
Ooh.
WrestleMania night number one. Just gonna
I
keep
got
moving
you.
along. All right, WrestleMania
Where
night
we at?
number one.
Number one. Wait
I
a minute.
want to just generally ask this question because
I ain't got nothing
Matt
to
and I
worry
were
Go ahead.
Chief and I were talking about this before.
Chief, yeah,
Two
Chief,
nights.
You know, Chief right
That's
here,
Chief, yes.
yeah.
I thought WrestleMania night one was better than night two. At least that's how it came across.
Facts.
Okay. How did the show itself in general, both nights, come across live being there versus the way maybe we saw it? Now, you agreed, so that tells me you kind of saw the same thing.
I thought night one was a lot better in my opinion, just off like matches and hype and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Night two was just like there was a lot of letdowns.
Mhm.
Like the surprises of both nights were stupid, honestly.
You
And
talking about McAfee and McMahon? Or
Yes.
Right.
Of all the people in town and all the people they could have put in these situations, I wasn't happy with either of them.
You know what really upset me? No Johnny Knoxville. It really upset me.
He was in town too.
It upset me.
Chief, if your microphone doesn't start working, you'll know why.
It really upset me. Johnny Knoxville.
It's as bad as Andy Kaufman going into the Hall of Fame.
As much as LA Knight was over on the SmackDown before,
Did he get the good pop?
oh my, everyone was screaming, yeah, the whole like night.
yes.
That was it. There was more yeah chants than there were what chants before a show, and that never happened.
Right.
Even Liz was doing it at home.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
But that place was like the whole WrestleMania crowd before WrestleMania started. Was,
Right.
Yeah.
And then-
Why he didn't come out? I heard they scrapped his like segment with Bobby Lashley right before the show.
Mhm.
He would have got a massive pop.
And
That's
yet they
what
had
they were.
Massive.
And yet they had Lashley come out with that stupid trophy. To be
That was
recognized.
another disappointment of
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
You said why they didn't bring him out. He would have, and just like when he was here at SmackDown, he got the biggest pop out of anybody.
Lashley.
No,
Oh, night.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
And he would have got the biggest pop at WrestleMania.
Well, now
no doubt in my mind.
There's concern, I think, backstage with Vince coming back that LA Knight now is going to slide back down after all this great momentum he's
You know
had
what?
thus far.
I hope not, but I will be more than happy to have him come back over here to Las Vegas
Mhm.
and wrestle in Las Vegas every month.
There you go.
And
I was
get-
praying
and I
there
get
was
to
going to
see
be some wild surprise of like LA Knight comes out and then Stone Cold comes out for like a confrontation.
Right.
The battling what versus
Oh.
yeah chance would have been insane.
How about
It's a great idea.
How about if it was LA Knight and Karrion Cross come out together?
Huh?
I like the idea of the chant duel though. That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool. That'd be pretty cool to hear.
What?
So they announced attendance over 80,000 for each night. It was like 160, almost 161,000 total allegedly reported. Did the SoFi Stadium look? It was okay. So 80,000 would be pretty accurate.
That's accurate.
Okay, because sometimes we know that
Very.
we know sometimes attendance figures can be fluffed a little bit.
And
So.
Monday night and the first night they had trouble getting out of the stadium from what I read.
Yeah, I messaged
Oh
you
my
about that.
god!
What
If you're
happened?
sitting on the floor,
Right,
the way they make you go out, I swear to God, you have to walk up like 50 ramps
to get back out.
to get like, because the exit is on the level 400.
To the stadium
So
itself
you have to walk up to literally the
Right.
top of the stadium to get out of there.
for all floors.
Yep.
So that exits where. Oh, so you're saying it sounds to me like then the stadium floor is almost like built below ground.
The whole
level.
thing's built underground, pretty
Wow,
much.
that's crazy.
Like what
I
you
think-
see at top level is like the top of the stadium.
Wow.
No wonder they have trouble keeping teams over there. Teams want to get the hell out of there because they can't build stadiums
No,
right.
that shit is such a nice
How many-
stadium.
I was
It's
just gonna say,
insane.
Is it nice?
SoFi,
Oh my
split- I mean,
God.
Allegiant and SoFi opened up at the same time, if memory serves, didn't they?
Same year.
Sa- well, same year.
Yeah, I
And
believe
SoFi, everybody, there was no comparison between.
We hired the
Allegiant
wrong
and
architect.
Yeah, well,
No, they
that's-
said
that's
it's
true.
really
Yeah,
nice.
it's well. So overall, and so let's remind everybody. So you were there Friday for SmackDown,
SmackDown in the Hall of Fame.
okay? Then Saturday, WrestleMania. And of course, in between all this, folks, he's running around going to all the exhibits trying to catch wrestlers.
And I want to say thank you again, Mr. Matt, for getting Trisha's autograph for me. I greatly appreciate that.
There you go. And
I know
appreciate-
Chief usually does the rant, but went to WrestleCon.
All right, wait a minute.
And-
Hold that thought.
hold-
Hold that thought. We're going to turn this segment into story time with Matt and Matt's rant all together. So can we play the beginning? Let's play them both.
And Chief's not doing the rant.
There you go. So hang on.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so.
All right, my mini rant. Went to WrestleCon. There's hundreds and hundreds of people there. I have one thing to bicker about wrestling fans about. There is a thing called goddamn deodorant. Try using it. The amount of BO in that goddamn place was mind-boggling. You get too many wrestling fans in the same place, that place stinks. Take a shower, people. Jesus Christ.
Wipe your ass too.
Oh, shit.
Or at least keep an air freshener in your pocket
That's okay.
and rub it around your body if you have
Yes.
to.
And then for my story time thing, yeah.
Whoops.
Wait.
It's
Sorry,
been a weird
I
week.
gotta clean that shit up in a second.
Wait.
But
Story time with Matt.
I was walking around Tuesday, and no, was it? Today's Saturday, so it was Thursday.
Thursday.
It's been a long week.
That's okay. Was this your regular job or Heart Attack Grill?
Regular job.
Okay, regular job.
So that halftime shit is contagious, right?
Yeah.
Halftime.
Yeah, halftime.
It's 3/4 halfheimers. Get it right.
I was walking around the building, and I was getting a call, and I look over, and there's like this little girl walking around by herself, and I was like, "That's weird." I look at the phone, and it's Metro, and I was like, "Wonder what they want." I called, answer the phone, and they were like, "Hey, there's a missing girl in your area. Keep an eye out. She's wearing this, this, and this." And I was like, "She's right in front of me." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "She's walking around Las Vegas Boulevard." So I grabbed her. Metro shows up, reunites her with the parents. It was just kind of crazy timing how like a spotter get a call at the same time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, all right, she's right here.
How old was the girl?
6.
6 years. Wow. And she wandered away from her parents. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Not the
good that-
neighborhood to do that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But fortunately, she found her way to your eyesight, and everything
Yeah.
ended up being a good end, which is great. I'll tell you what, we could probably do a whole show of Matt telling his stories from WrestleMania up and down. I bet, right?
Oh yeah,
Did you take any pictures?
Yeah.
a couple.
If we have a couple of them, I don't want to do the whole roll, but let's put a couple of, and then we'll get into talking about. There he is. So you explain what we got going on here. This is your seat view, yeah.
That was my seat from WrestleMania night 1.
I was concerned the ramp might have been in your way, but some of the pictures you snapped though
Yeah.
didn't look like it.
WrestleMania. Oh. Okay.
That was Finn Balor coming
Balor.
out for the.
Boy, they
the
showed the
one,
cut on his head like the next day. Holy
that was
cow.
wild.
I think 20 some staples.
And that was during the match.
Yes.
And you could see it happening because he took the step rung right on his head when Edge threw
Yeah.
the ladder. So while these are being shown, let me share something that Ronald put in here. In his opinion, best entrance of night 1 was Rey Mysterio, and the best entrance of night 2 was Edge. That in
Yeah.
his opinion. What was with Rey's mask? It looked like it was a partial helmet from the way it came across. Like this part of the mask looked bulkier,
Yeah.
and he had that drop down drape kind of around his neck. It didn't look like his traditional mask. Did it look any different?
Oh,
than
crazy thing about that Seth
Oh.
Rollins when he came out.
Wait,
You know, like that.
what's up with this picture?
Everyone's stealing that thing from like Instagram because I guess like right before she did that, they cut to like Charlotte or something. What I saw on the.
Can you go back to the picture of Seth for a moment? The red one. There you go. Right
That
there.
one. That like pink thing he's wearing underneath.
Right.
Yeah.
When he was coming out, he like took it off and he threw it. I had like my fingertips on it, and some kid grabbed it.
That looked very
So you
Sean.
can't take some kid?
No, he's
I had part of it, and they were like, "Just give it to the kid. Give it to the kid." I was like,
he's
And
a
the
true
crowd
wrestling
turned
fan.
against you.
That pink part of his costume that he came out in looked very Shawn Michaels like. At least that's the way it came across on TV. At least. All right, keep going. Go back to the Ray written next one. There you
This
go.
one?
Yep. And then anything else?
everyone's like stealing that picture from me from Instagram because I guess they cut the picture off,
Yeah.
or they cut like that part of it off, so like nobody saw that on TV.
Gotcha. What's the next one you got? Speaking of the ladies tag champs, we were just talking about them last segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Trish looked really good. I can tell you that. By the way, how was the Hall of Fame? Sitting in the Hall of Fame stuff, how was that?
Boring.
It was. Was it?
It was long.
After SmackDown, I finally remembered it was even on the Peacock Network, and I caught just as they were introducing Tim White's brothers to come out
Right.
and give him the Warrior Award, and then I tuned in for the Ray introduction, hoping to God nothing crazy would go on. And I think what they did with them walking out, obvious him sitting down while everybody's standing up and everything, I think was just all that they needed to do.
You know how bad I wanted somebody to come out during that? I was waiting for the Judgment Day music the entire time Ray was talking.
Well, then you had the LWO all set also now because
Yeah.
you're going to the Latino World Order.
But
But
even like when the Hall of Fame started, and I really started thinking about it, and I was like, once Stacy's done, Muda doesn't speak English.
right,
2 are dead.
oh, there's no
And-
time. They need time filler.
And Mary's
And-
was short.
And then Ray's, I was like, he's going to be like the majority of the thing. And then he
Right.
went on so early that I was like, Dominic has to come back out.
Right.
He has to.
There was a picture that was shown on social media that they caught Dominic before all the obvious attention was put on him and Rhea and Priest for just sitting there. We could see the emotion
Oh, yeah.
as the son
Yes.
was starting to build up on his face about obviously being proud for his dad.
Uh,
In a way, him walking out like they did as part of the story and then being able to, I'm presuming, going backstage to finish watching it somewhere, his dad getting inducted, allowing him to finally maybe get that emotional release of pride for his dad. He had to deserve an Oscar for that night on TV at the Hall of Fame.
it was kind of funny, too. We were like at the hotel like after, and we saw Dominic, and he came out like talking to us. And I was like, I loved your entrance at WrestleMania. I thought they were going to bring you out like Hannibal Lecter or something in like handcuffs. And he's like, are you guys never happy about anything? And I was like, no, it was cool. It was cool.
Right,
I'm just
right.
saying I thought it was going to be something else.
Right.
But the whole like cop thing was way better.
Right. Well, now, of course, in that entrance, there is the picture of the Auschwitz entrance to
Yeah.
the concentration camp, which is now catching a little fire. I got to be honest with you. I watched it. I didn't even notice it. I was so wrapped up in the rest of the production. I totally missed
Yep.
that it was the entrance of Auschwitz. And now
I did
all
too.
over social media, they're taking a little heat for it. Ronald, I talked about Ronald's entrances. So from a fan perspective,
You know,
go ahead.
I want
And
to
then we'll get into the matches
I
finally.
wanna- well, whenever. I just want to go back, two things.
Mhm.
I wonder how Ray feels as a dad. I know Conan is who he wanted supposedly, but I wonder how Ray really feels that Dominic couldn't give the speech presenting him into the Hall of Fame, number one.
I'm sure they'll have their moment before he retires.
And number two, I wonder how Dominic felt by the script of having to walk out there and not being there for his father. I don't think we'll ever know.
No, I don't think so either. But it was pretty obvious what they were doing from a production standpoint. Everybody's standing, Ray's coming out, then they finally pan back enough, and you see the three of them sitting down while everybody else is applauding. Ray comes down, he's thanking people on this side, he's thanking people over here, stops for a moment, looks at Dominic, starts walking again, but then realizes, wait, Triple H, turns back around again.
Yep.
And then Chief pointed out, greatly so,
Yep.
who was sitting behind Dominic but Booker T.
Yeah.
Right? And then he comes back and he shakes hands again with Triple H. Didn't give Dominic a look that time,
Exactly.
but it's obvious they were making as much TV time around the fact that they were sitting through all of this as you could possibly see. And then finally Ray made his way down to the ring. Conan, I thought, I know their history, but I thought his induction speech was a little much because Ray ended up repeating the whole thing as part of his story, right? About how he got involved. I like Conan, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he really just, I thought, was a little long on it and repeating everything. And then Ray comes out and tells the same story from him.
That's why I wanted Dominic to come out. That shit was boring as hell. I was like, you're literally saying whatever Conan just said.
Right.
Where is Judgment Day now?
Get rid of Conan.
I was like, A, Chief's gonna lose his shit, and B, I just want to see what happens. Bring Judgment Day. Even when like his music hit and they were like, good night, we're like,
Yeah.
where the hell are they?
Yeah.
This is not funny no more.
I was waiting too.
Nope.
But like we talked about the week before, though, I think if they'd done anything more than what they did, would have done a disservice to Ray's induction into the Hall of Fame. I think they did just enough to continue the story because his reaction, Ray's statement in the ring after they walked out, "Don't worry, I'll take care of business tomorrow." That's all you needed.
Yep.
You know, I think anything other than that would have
Exactly.
taken away the.
I thought the whole like Rey Mysterio going into the Hall of Fame was a work to begin with. I didn't think he was really going in. I thought it was just for WrestleMania,
Right.
and they were going to attack him before he even started talking because he's saying he's not going to retire for like 5 years.
Right. Well,
So once he said that, and I was like, he's not really going in the Hall
Right.
of Fame. It's for Dominic to attack him at the Hall of Fame, and then he goes in later. But
Two things I want to say.
I had to hear the same speech twice live. Thanks.
Number one, I think that was the worst Hall of Fame I've watched across the board. Okay. Number two, I think if Eddie Guerrero was alive,
He would have abducted him
Eddie
for sure.
Guerrero would have been the one to induct Rey Mysterio into the Hall of Fame. And could you imagine what it would? It would have been a party.
Oh, yeah.
With Eddie, it would have been a party.
Oh, no question. And then Ray, of course, tipping his cap to Eddie the night of his match, coming out in one of the cars with Snoop Dogg. And all
That was cool.
Yes.
Because they had to come out right near you, right?
Yeah, they were like right next to
That's
us.
what I thought. That's what I thought. All right. Before we go to the top of the hour, we're going
You
to
did a good
just
rant
do it.
today.
Yeah, we
It was
really.
pro-
That's the other thing I thought Dominic was going to do because at the WrestleMania Superstore, they had Eddie's car and it was gone. And we were like, what if Dominic comes out with like Eddie's music
And stole it.
and comes with the freaking lowrider? But it was Ray. So I was like, as long as it got used, I was
Right,
like,
exactly.
whatever.
Exactly. Here's what I'd like to do. We're going to step aside for our second break a tad early, and then we will dedicate the rest of this hour to WrestleMania Night 1.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Maybe we'll get to the matches. Who knows? We'll be right back.
D'Lo Brown. If you want to be part of one of the greatest podcasts on the world, Thoughts Count Anywhere, every Saturday, 9 to 11 Pacific. Now recognize that. Hey, everybody, Aaron Phillips, and I'm standing with Anthony Miller. Hey, I have a quick question for you. What's the name of your favorite wrestling show? Thoughts Count Anywhere. What a convenience. Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. If this guy watches it, better watch it also on Facebook.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
All right. Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. A little early on our break, but that's okay. Chief, what you got?
Matt, I just one quick question. Being
What's
that
up?
you were there, was it a sellout?
Yeah.
It was a sellout.
I didn't see any empty seats.
Okay.
Except for the ones that y'all was standing in front of. Why do people buy seats when they stand for the whole event anyway? You know, you had to have been standing primarily for the whole night, yeah? Both nights?
Pretty much like once the action started, everyone sat down
Oh,
until
okay.
like something cool happened. Like somebody gets on the top rope or something, then everybody stands up.
Gotcha. All right.
We had like 4 seats for like the first night, and then the second night, like we weren't by the rail. I didn't want to be like right in the
No, you-
middle of the
you were
floor,
right
so we
up
were
there.
So
You
we
were up
were
a
like
little bit,
4 rows off the floor the
Right on.
second night.
Right on. And now, who else went with you? You said 4. It was you and Ryan, obviously.
Me,
I know.
Ryan, my friend Jason, and his friend.
Oh,
Dean.
very cool. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's get to it. Let's just kind of chat about night one matches. Anything we can skirt through, we can skip, whatever, keep conversation going. Austin Theory and John Cena.
Bathroom break.
Passing of the baton a little bit.
A little bit.
Would it have been a bigger pass if the low blow had not occurred?
I think if he didn't cheat to win, it would have been like a bigger.
Moment?
This is on you now, kid.
Right.
Do you really think Cena put him over?
Not in that match, based on the way he ended, the way it finished. I don't think so at all.
So if Cena didn't put him over, then why the hell have the match? Seriously, why?
If you'd put him over clean, different story. So I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Well, because this story between Cena and Theory started like a year ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
Theory threw some shade at Cena back and forth, blah. Because we all thought it was going to happen last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there was very little build when Cena made his appearance back a couple of weeks before. And I agree with you. It was like,
Why?
for Theory, all right. But if he had won clean, passing a baton or that moment, I think would have been bigger than,
I mean, I
would have been a better show.
okay, Theory low blowed him, okay. But did that match do anything for Theory and the United States title?
No.
In my opinion, it didn't.
I don't think so either.
By hook or by crook, he still beat John Cena.
I'll give you that. That's the
That's bragging rights permanently.
that's the only thing that came out of it is he put Cena down for the 3 count.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Street Profits defeated Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and Viking Raiders. Now, there's nothing on the line for this match. Not like a number one contenders match
No,
or anything, because obviously the tag titles had their own storyline going on that same night.
correct.
So this was 8 performers.
I don't know. Maybe it was like number one contenders because the Street Profits got tag title shot on Monday,
That's true.
and the female winners. No, they didn't even get a title shot yet. But
No, they
Monday.
didn't. They didn't.
They get it Monday.
no, they
So
didn't
maybe-
win the thing.
But
though.
they didn't announce it that way. That it was
Yeah.
a number one contenders match.
No.
Anything
Good morning, Brandon.
anything in this match that you guys want to chat about? I mean,
Chad Gable picking up Braun Strowman off the floor
Yes.
into a German suplex.
yes, I totally agree with that. I totally agree
And
with
that place went crazy
Yeah.
for Chad Gable the entire time. That guy deserves like a
Yeah,
singles push.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there was talk looked like Otis is or may still be floating over with the model people.
Yeah.
Leave Chad to be, and I hope he does get a singles run. He's well overdue, just like
Yeah.
our guy that we were talking about, supposed to be making his return. I think next week, Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura is supposed to be getting a push when he comes back. He's supposed to return to TV this week, but we'll see. Anyway, all right. Street Profits won. Looked like they got their title shot, but yes, that in that match, Gable picking up Strowman for sure. All right, first really emotionally invested match of the night was the next one, I think, between Rollins and Logan Paul. Coming down the what thoughts did you guys have when you saw Logan Paul coming down the line?
Ooh, he came like right over us too.
Yeah.
Everyone, I didn't even realize he was standing there. I was like watching the video, and I see everyone's cameras like this, and I was like, "Stage is over there." Oh shit, Logan Paul's right
There
there.
is- Did you guys? I mean, my immediate thought was the possible danger going back to thinking about what happened to Owen years ago, being on that zip line.
My first thought was just hold on to
Right.
He wasn't that high off the ground.
That's the other thing I thought about too, is he wasn't high off the ground. But
No, but it would have still hurt.
and if he fell on top of people, those people would.
Yeah, he's like right over us
Right,
too. I was all like, "Better not fall right here, bro."
But that was my first thought too.
Yeah. All right, but the match itself.
Uh,
How did it? You guys give me your thoughts on that match between those two.
Seth carried him. Seth carried him. It was,
Logan Paul is. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
he's athletic.
That guy, like for
He's athletic.
the amount of
Yes.
like, minus like Shawn Michaels being your personal trainer in wrestling, kind of have like an edge already.
Yep.
But for that guy barely being able to do this, he puts on incredible matches.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he goes in the rings with people like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and people to make him look good, but
Mhm.
you kind of have to look good yourself to like.
Right. To make it a legit event.
When he like jumped from like the ring straight to the top rope and like flipped Rollins, I was
Mhm.
like, what the hell?
Mhm.
He's an athletic.
Yeah.
He's athletic.
They said his contract's up. WWE better re-sign him.
Yeah, that is true. They've been talking about that, I think, since WrestleMania. Now, the guy in the mascot suit, his business partner, whatever his name is,
KSI.
I don't think it was any surprise that he was going to get involved in a match at some point. somehow.
Everybody in our section thought it was Jake Paul.
See, and I said I didn't think about that, but I was curious. I'm thinking to myself, who's in there? Who could be in there that'll be involved in the match? But but Jake Paul physically though is a much bigger dude than obviously his partner is. So when you look at the guy's legs that was sticking out, it's like, unless it was going to be Johnny Knoxville in that suit, look at those legs.
I thought it might have been the Miz.
That would have been an interesting thought too, because of Logan Paul, the two. Yeah, see, that would have been an interesting twist too. Excellent idea. But I thought overall it was a good match. I mean, it was a hard fought match at the end, and obviously Rollins picked up the win. All right, we know the 6-lady tag match: Becky Lynch, Trish, and Lita. We talked about this a few minutes ago. Defeated Damage Control. Anything else we need to talk about there? I think that match is pretty well. We chomped on that a little bit. All right. Rey Mysterio and Dominic, we talked about their entrances and everything, but the first, I would say lighthearted moment, but the first moment that I thought that I remember from that match was when Rey took his belt off and swatted Dominic across the ass a couple of times, like a father would do to his son anywhere when you cause trouble. How did the crowd respond to all of that?
The crowd popped for that.
Okay.
But why was this whole match sponsored by like Cinnamon Toast Crunch? And they had like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch costume. I kind of like ruined the moment with these sponsorships.
They garnered a ton of tens of millions of dollars in corporate sponsorship for that kind of stuff this year.
Yeah.
Prime, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all of that stuff. It's interesting where they brought in all this extra money doing all of that. And I thought it was very heavy with that stuff as well.
They should put those in like the 4-way tag matches and stuff you're not like emotionally invested in. So if like you're emotionally invested in a match, you don't want to see the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot running around.
No, I agree with that. It would be interesting to go to like a fatal 4-way. In this corner, sponsored by this corner.
Do all your little sponsorship matches in one match.
Exactly.
The Street Profits are sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, by Solo Red Cups.
Alpha Academy sponsored by Mountain Dew.
All right. So again, at the end, no surprise that the family got involved. That Dominic goes over the slap, the war, whatever it was, everything that happened. No surprise that they got involved to some degree.
I really thought Dominic was going to win.
Did you really? At what point did you think he was going to win?
It's like, I guess since the storyline's going to go on longer, but I thought like Rey was going to put his son over just to like help us. It would benefit Dominic more to win than it would to lose.
But yet, at the same token, his heat from Monday night got even stronger because of the way Judgment Day came out, Bad Bunny, and all that stuff. And now, obviously, was a backlash to the next one in Puerto Rico. I think Dominic can go. I think that'll still escalate him because Dominic can continue on. If it was going to be Rey's retirement match or last match or whatever, then I 1,000% agree with you about Dominic should have gone over in that style match. But obviously, this line's going to keep going.
Did you hear the crowd last night up in Portland?
For which part?
Get on Dominic's ass last night?
I saw the highlight of it this morning.
Okay.
No, I didn't see it live. No. But I know we got more heat for it.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Heat. I ain't seen heat like that in years.
Well, Busted Open talked about that this morning.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
When Dominic goes down to Puerto Rico, he better be very careful, because if you don't know what I'm talking about, folks, go down and put on some of Carlos Colon's matches from the company that he has down there and watch some of those matches. Those fans like to riot down there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're like soccer fans in Europe. I mean, they're rabid about what is, if their guys don't win or something bad happens.
So go ahead and mess with Bad Bunny, but watch your back. That's all I'm saying to you.
It was kind of funny, like at the hotel, to like watch Rey Mysterio and the family like go out to dinner at the Yard House, like up the street, and then Dominic come out and try to figure out how to get to them without like really being noticed. But everybody noticed, so he was like trying to figure out a way to get over there, but he never made it over.
So, sometimes like that, in instances like that, you just have to break kayfabe. You
Yeah.
have to, and I've said it more than once. You said it. Aaron said it. Professional wrestlers are human beings, and sometimes we, as the fan, have to recognize and just back off and give them the space that they need to do what they need to do. In an instance like that, that's what needed to be done.
Ronald puts in the chat room, he says, have you all seen Michael Cole's reaction to Ray taking the belt to Dom? I did not see the reaction to it.
Hilarious.
I did not see the reaction that Cole was facially giving other than the verbal commentary that was being given at that time.
I'll find it.
So, yeah, Matt can bring that up. All right. Before we talk about the ladies' match, let's go to Pat McAfee defeating The Miz. First of all, both nights, that entire segment with that stuff was totally somebody said it's time filler. You know what? Between every flipping match, they played all the video recap stuff on how we got to this point for all these matches anyway. And to do that with this kind of match, to put Miz and to put Miz in this kind of position, okay, he deserves better than that. He deserves to be back in a much higher position. So, McAfee comes out after a few minutes, and then George Kittle gets involved. I mean, that's shades of Rob Gronkowski getting involved a couple of years ago. I mean, it just, to me, that was one, that and the second night, although seeing Shane get hurt put a little damper on it because you don't want to see anybody get hurt.
No.
I think those two segments were the worst thing you could have ever done on a WrestleMania type of card both nights, in my opinion.
I really don't think Miz cares about what he does because he's going to do it 100%. All right. And he's one of the few that you can say that about.
I agree.
Look at him in what's his name? That was, the dude that dropped the elbows
Snoop
on.
Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. Thank you.
And tip our cap to Snoop Dogg the next day. We can talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, but you look at Snoop Dogg. Miz put up with it. Okay, Miz gave it back to him. Then come the second day, dropped the elbow on him. All right, Miz gets into it with McAfee. Hey, the only thing better would have been if Johnny Knoxville had come out in that match, but he didn't come out in that match. And I'm waiting for him. And damn it, he never shows up. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell, Miz? Can't you write better than that and put our boy in there? No.
Well, I'd love to know who actually produced those two segments, just out of curiosity.
I would
for
hope,
shits and giggles.
I would hope the Miz had something to do.
I would hope
with
so. I'd agree with you on
Because
that. But you're not going to do something in LA without Snoop Dogg.
Oh no.
So you have to have them there. But I will tip my cap to them on Sunday when McMahon came out, which was a surprise for both guys coming out, McAfee and Shane.
Yes.
And from what I read, both of these guys were so well hidden in the back, nobody knew they were coming out.
Correct.
Be that as it may, on Sunday, we all know what happened with Shane going for the leapfrog. And we all thought it was his knee, but I guess the report came out it was his quad. Ironically,
Runs in the family.
I was just going to say that, Dad, and then Triple H had it blow. But you knew, obviously, at that point, I was waiting to see if the camera would catch the X to know that it was legit. We never saw it.
Nope.
But you did question it. And for me, when I realized it was a real injury, the camera just stayed on Miz for so long when he was in the corner. And you can kind of see the look on his face like, okay, is this real? What's going on? And he's starting to get into a character. Now, reading the story, Jessica Carr, who was the referee in the ring at that time, really kind of helped flip the script because that entire thing was obviously totally done off the cuff at that moment.
Yes.
And so for them to do what they did and Snoop getting in with the punches and then the elbow was brilliant. I got to give him credit for all of that.
It was funny live because you couldn't really see from the cameraman.
Right.
The cameraman was like, punch him.
So they were pointing direction for. Oh, okay. Well, they had to be because you don't have
Miz and Snoop are both like, oh, okay,
right? Because you don't have a plan B in mind, saying, okay, well, if Shane gets hurt, guys, this is what we're going to do. That literally was the result. I think was good for what happened in that scenario. Yeah. Whoever helped them, the cameraman, Jessica, whoever it was, they pulled it off enough that everybody understood. And quite frankly, I thought it was great when I saw him start doing the pretend. So excited doing the pretend elbow thing. and getting ready to do the elbow, I thought was great. I thought that was wonderful.
The worst people's elbow ever.
You want to try that?
But,
No,
oh
I
my
don't. John
God.
will yell at me.
That was funny.
But I will say this: that kind of
Private
made.
Sound is now brought to you by.
But I really thought by him doing that made me wonder if maybe later on that night in the main event we might see The Rock make some sort of.
No.
I thought that was some kind of foreshadowing.
Right, exactly.
No.
No, right. That would have been smart. But anyway, I think those two segments just, again, Miz will make chicken shit out of, chicken
He's
crap.
he's not good.
And maybe he
is.
doesn't need the big spots anymore monetarily, but I know he probably wants it.
I think he wants to be like more of a pop culture person, and what a better spot at WrestleMania than being out there with Snoop Dogg.
I hope that they give Miz one more big push to where
They should.
Yeah, definitely. To where he wins a belt. What belt? I don't care, but he wins a belt.
Ronald shares with us, by the way, night one predictions because he tracked them all for us last week. He and Thomas Burnett were both 5-2. You and I were both 4-3 on night one.
Who cares?
I know. It's just fun to track. Anyway, he did post a picture of the results. All right, Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte Flair for the women's championship. The most physical match I've ever seen Charlotte in ever.
That was a crazy match.
How did the crowd react when she came off the back that second time off the rope with the German and she over-rotated and face planted? I thought she broke her neck.
Everyone's like, oh!
Ugh. It looked horrible in replay.
Yeah.
That crowd was 90% Rhea Ripley, 10% Charlotte.
I
Easy.
don't doubt that. They were fine because the underlying story, which I think a lot of people forgot, we didn't, was when Charlotte beat her in the pandemic era for the NXT ladies title that night. And then obviously with everything that went on in the world, they were really never able to pursue that until now.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough build for that over a longer period of time, in my opinion, because there was discussion that we were talking about before the show. Ric Flair came out early in the week saying that the winners of the Royal Rumble, when they get their shot, used to main event WrestleMania for their title shot.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think they bill it that way anymore because they used to bill it as the main event. Now it's like you just get a title shot at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the conversation on Busted Open was, so Rick's comment was that it broke tradition, that the winners didn't get their main event.
Just because it was his daughter.
But you know what? I look back to history though. It's not a big deal because most of the people who won and got the main event lost their championship opportunity anyway. But
And then you want, sorry, go ahead.
No. But the main event that was being pointed out on Busted Open this morning was the main event should be the hot storyline that's going on leading into it.
Yeah.
Because normally WrestleMania should be like the blow-off match of most feuds because then the next night at Raw, you start your new ones, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
I don't have any problem with the tag match being the main event. The first night we knew Roman, regardless, was going to be the main event on the other night. But the thought was whether Rhea or Charlotte should have been the main event. To me, I didn't care. I thought they made the right decision in having those guys, the tags, be the main event. But that's what was in this match. I'm glad for Rhea. And you could see Charlotte on the floor almost had the same reaction when Bianca beat Sasha. The smile, and she kind of sat there and she looked up, kind of giving her kudos and whatnot. I thought that was a great moment for Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I think Rhea's going to be interesting. Now we'll see what happens with the Judgment Day because they're on Raw and she's got the SmackDown Women's title, right?
If you watched SmackDown last night,
I didn't catch
they
it all.
did announce that the draft is coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. It was a great match. I'm very glad Rhea won.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Charlotte makes a better heel than she does a face. And I see Charlotte going back to becoming a heel.
Well, we won't know for a little bit because she's supposedly taking time off again. So we won't know. But I agree with you. I think the Flair name is just traditionally a better heel than a face type of personality anyway.
And I want to say, I wonder if her husband may be showing up somewhere in the professional wrestling ring here pretty soon now that he's healthy. And he's not under contract.
And he was backstage.
He still is under contract, but just for a few more months.
And is AEW going to give him extended time on his contract for time missed because of injury, like WWE does with a lot of folks? But they did have pictures. There were pictures of Andrade with her backstage at WrestleMania, so he was there to support her.
Right.
All right, last match.
I wonder how much tampering was done backstage at WrestleMania
I don't know.
between Malachi Black being there.
Well, it's no worse than Rhea being out here with Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I guess they're allowed, aren't they?
So be like, so what's your contract up, buddy?
Yes,
What's
Make
what's
a phone call.
what's the phone number?
that's right.
North or south?
And as we know, Sammy and KO defeated the Usos, breaking the Usos, 650-day roughly reign. No surprise, I think, at the end. I think it would have been more of a surprise if they didn't win. I'm glad that they won. I don't know if they're just really a placeholder for a short term for somebody else. Because the question is how soon will their friendship diffuse again?
I don't think it's going to.
Okay. I hope it lasts for a while.
I hope Sammy and Kevin keep the belts for a while. I think they can project a good storyline also.
Yeah.
And who's up next for it? That's going to be the question. As far as the tag teams, who's going to be next? I see the Street Profits. That's who I see.
If they get one more title shot, the Street Profits, and if they don't win the titles, then they should be separated.
Although
I really thought Dawkins was going to turn on Montez Ford at Raw once they lost.
Although
It's brewing.
I do have two other names.
Okay.
Johnny Gargano
Mhm.
and Tommaso Ciampa.
That's not bad either.
That,
All right.
that would be a good tag team.
Our number one is in the book. So is WrestleMania night number one, our recap and thoughts when we
Yeah,
come
well,
back on the other side. We'll get into night number two. Any other discussions? Of course, we're going to talk about the sale, the merger, whatever you want to call it, between WWE and Endeavor for almost $7 billion, whatever it was, some ridiculous number. That'll be on the docket for the next hour, plus birthdays and whatever else we can squeeze in. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We will be right back.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? I just wonder, is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Hi, everybody. Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron's Hour, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.
That's all right. If we're done, we're done.
Hey, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron, that's Chief, that's Matt. We are back together again after Matt spending a great weekend out in California for WrestleMania 39. Ronald says, all of us were 3 for 3 on night 2. Interesting. 702-992-3207 is our number. Keep those comments coming into the chat room. If you are watching us on YouTube, by all means, send in your chats. We can pick those up. And if you watch anything from what we've done today or the past, you can always go onto the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Roku channel. Simply search WWDB-TV. And not only will you find all of the Thoughts Count Anywhere shows, but you will find a wide variety of shows that Worldwide Digital Broadcasting offers there, and you can watch them at your convenience. Like yesterday, I spent some time watching shows from the Gutsy Traveler. Why? Well, because Christina Katz, the host of that show, will be joining me on Aaron's Hour in a couple hours. So I went out
today.
That's today. So anyway, so check it out. Check us out. Check out all the shows. And don't forget, visit thoughtscananywhere.com for our swag. Like you can get a shirt like I'm wearing. By the way, did they have WrestleMania 1 when you were watching it on radio? Was it on radio then?
Yeah.
Did you watch it on radio?
Yeah.
How did Billy Martin?
WWL.
WWL?
Yeah.
What was that for?
Out of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay, the TV, the radio station.
God,
Why not? I didn't
what
listen
the hell
to
you asked? Did I listen? Yeah.
I didn't listen. I don't know what
Yeah.
the Philadelphia.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I watched. Yeah, I watched it.
What would I know about the Philadelphia channels?
I
don't know
watched
their
it.
call letters
I watched
on radio. So
at
proud
the
of you.
Tropicana.
No, gotcha. Now you're talking about when they used to do the
MSG. I was there.
All right,
WrestleMania 1.
that's right, baby. That's the show that Vince McMahon mortgaged his entire future and company on being a success. So
Not just
Did a
him.
good job.
Not
bad.
just him.
it's become an important angle.
Him, Captain Lou,
Oh yeah,
Gorilla Monsoon,
MTV in general.
MTV
Yeah.
with Cyndi Lauper, and then
Yep.
they came in.
Mhm.
Mr. T brought some money. Liberace brought some Vegas money in.
Billy Martin.
Billy Martin, yeah.
Well, he at least brought some shots, if nothing else. I got
You know what I was going to
I
say.
know, I got you.
I will.
I got you on that
will,
one.
I will.
All right, night number 2. Let's get into some of it. We'll continue our discussion about WrestleMania.
Bruno San Martino.
Oh, there you go. All right, opening match: Brock Lesnar versus Amos.
Potty break.
Matt,
Thought it was what was going to happen. Basically, like almost looked like he was about to beat him, and then Brock did Brock, and
and 3 moves.
One
and it was
pretty
done.
quick. yeah.
It was pretty impressive though that he did get him up though. He did the suplexes and stuff. Almost as impressive as Chad Gable, like you said the night before with Strowman.
I think it was better than people thought it was going to be.
Can I be honest?
I always expect you to be.
Brock
I
Lesnar.
doubt it, but go ahead and give
Brock,
Be honest. Tell us Bruno sucks.
Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Bill Goldberg. John Cena all need to go away and not come back again. Okay. And after Lita's done, I agree with you, Matt. I think Lita's lost a step when her last match is. They can all come back, for the Hall of Fame and all that type of stuff. But please stay out of the ring. I really don't want any of you to get hurt.
No, I agree with that. I would have no trouble seeing all 3 of them finally hang him up. I mean, Goldberg is out of contract with WWE anyway. His name has
Yes.
been maybe linked to AEW. Same thing possibly with Brock. Has he re-signed for it? He must have.
He must have.
If he
for
turned
the
on-
whole Cody.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Must have done something.
I think he signed for like his
X
last
number of
contract,
matches.
X number of matches.
I wonder if though, what I was surprised when I saw the turn happen, of course we know he was a Brock Heyman guy, a Paul Heyman guy. What if Brock has aligned himself with the bloodline in some not in official capacity, but because of Heyman? Come out, hey, we're going to ask you to take care of Cody for Roman. I don't know.
I think Heyman's going to be the mouthpiece for Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what's going to happen.
Separate from the bloodline itself.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Okay,
Right.
and let's put it this way: who do we see in line? Does Cody get a rematch at what's the next big one? coming up?
Backlash?
Backlash.
I don't think of that. I think SummerSlam.
Is that too soon?
I think SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. So, see, my mind is saying Solo is going to beat Roman for the belt.
I think it's going to be Cody still.
And I don't disagree with, but it'll still be in the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
could see Cody winning, and then maybe Sikoa beating Cody to bring it back to the
Well,
bloodline.
that
Yeah.
could be a possibility.
But I think what happened with Brock on Monday night definitely has made Cody a much bigger baby face.
Oh yeah.
Getting the beat down for him to continue going after the empire of the bloodline.
Do you-
And I agree. I think SummerSlam will see them go at it again.
Do you know what I wanted to see happen? You were talking about the WrestleMania moments. Do you know what I wanted to see in that Cody Roman match? I wanted to see Dustin run the hell down the ramp and just beat the shit out of him.
Ronald says at Backlash it's going to be Cody versus Brock, and the other match to announce is Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Priest. That last match, the tag match, I'm not surprised. I think that was sort of announced right away.
Yeah.
Have they? I guess it sounds like it's officially been announced. Cody and Brock at Backlash in Puerto Rico next month.
I can see that.
May 6th, May 9th, whatever that Mother's Day Sunday is the date.
You didn't like my idea about
No, I did.
Dustin coming down?
Well, it would be interesting to see that happen, but that would have to be something Tony would have to approve, though, wouldn't it?
Well,
He's approved stuff before. You approved Christian to come out if you wanted to come over with Edge for the Brood entrance. I would have liked to have seen that. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Were you kind of anticipating The Brood.
Everyone wanted to see the Brood entrance of like Gangrel and
Right.
Christian and Edge.
And Gangrel was out in L.A.
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah. According to reports, Tony gave his blessing for Christian to come back here and go and attend with them to do that. So I was looking for it. I was hoping.
Yeah.
I was what I was looking for, and then like whatever that mirror thing he had on was, I was like, "What is this?"
Wasn't that the Shockmaster's mask when he fell through the wall?
It looked
Something
like
like it,
it.
right? Didn't it?
It was. It was.
I don't know if it came off on TV, but there was like an Exorcist, like Hell in a Cell came down,
Right.
and then they started playing this video, so everyone's like recording, thinking Edge is about to come out, and it was a freaking Exorcist commercial.
Yeah.
You would have thought like Hitler or somebody came like entrance music hit as loud as those boos were.
Wow.
People were pissed.
Wow.
And then like Edge came out for real, and I was like, "What is that?"
Interesting.
But see, that those type of thoughts, Gangrel coming out, Dustin possibly running them, that make those types of
surprises
that we don't expect.
Right.
That's what makes for good.
And so when you look
Well, we
at
got Shane McMahon though.
I was going to say the only two surprises was McMahon and McAfee. Couldn't, like you said, of all the people that was out in LA and around this night, they could have done better than McAfee. And I like McAfee. I love his energy and all of that. But McAfee and McMahon is the two surprises.
I'd
really.
rather seen Eric Bischoff.
I was hoping Randy Orton was going to be like
Yeah.
surprise,
Yeah.
or the other thing we thought it was going to be, because at the WrestleMania Superstore they were laying out hints of shit.
Really?
Like they had like the belt wall, and there was always like holes missing. And then we randomly went there Saturday night, and the Fiend belt was there, and it wasn't there Friday or Saturday, like afternoon. And they were like, WWE told us to put this out. And I was like, that's interesting. And then you go around the corner where the VIP thing is, and they just set up the Firefly Funhouse with like the big puppets.
Right.
And I was like, what if Bray Wyatt's the surprise on Sunday? And no, of course not.
See,
No.
even him
Why?
with his spiritual stuff to be involved somehow in the Edge and Finn Balor demonic kind of stuff would have made a lot more sense than some of what they did. But you're right. If those are the only two surprises I can think of, then yes, we missed a whole lot of boat opportunity of surprises that could have even just nods. Like even if like we always talk about, if The Rock would just come out on stage, he doesn't even have to get in or near the ring. Just come on stage, hear his music pop. After Roman wins, bring the glasses down, give him the eyebrow, and then quietly turn around and walk out. That's all he needs to do at this
That place
point.
would have went insane.
Right.
But then we have that, we're talking about this, right? But then you get to Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and the fans are so upset with what's going on now after 160,000 fans are cheering for WrestleMania. It goes down. Well, I was going to say it went down to shitters, but I won't.
But you said it, so
Yeah, I
The
said
crowd
that.
was still hyped. It was just a bad show on Raw.
That's what I'm saying.
I was going to say, did not
There were
feel
more
like-
turns and like cooler things that happened on NXT.
Stop and think about it. The SmackDown show before WrestleMania, the
Yeah.
week before out here, that was a shitty show. Then we get the Raw show Monday night after WrestleMania. Wasn't all that good of a show either.
That's always the biggest show. I was just as hyped to go to the Raw after WrestleMania as I was for WrestleMania.
And I tuned in a little bit on Monday night, and it just was not the typical Raw after WrestleMania crowd. They didn't hijack anything. Is it possible WWE put the kibosh to control the audience and not hijack the show at all? Did they do anything?
From watching like WrestleMania, I watched like the replay just to see if I can catch myself on TV.
Right.
WWE messed with the audio a lot.
I thought so.
Like a lot. Because there were chants in there that didn't make TV that were loud as hell.
Yeah.
It was like, because the stadium's so big, they have like that huge screen that goes like
Yeah.
around the thing.
Yeah.
And they had like the matches playing on it. So like you knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
because I had to watch like some of it. So like when everyone was standing, I would just be like, "All right, what's this?"
Yeah.
And it was just the WrestleMania logo for a minute,
Right.
and the whole goddamn place was screaming,
Yeah.
"Fix the screen!
What?
Fix the screen!"
Oh, I thought it was, yeah. Damn.
Everyone was there was 80,000 people during the Seth Rollins
Jeez.
Logan Paul match screaming, "Fix the screen! Fix the screen!" That was not on TV
No,
at all.
I'd never heard any of that. Yeah, but they do that at all the shows anyway,
Yeah.
right? Which is a shame that they have to do that. But the Raw after WrestleMania was not what it used to be in terms of the crowd hijacking and chants and all that.
Unfortunately, our co-host here didn't hear our show last week.
Regarding which topic?
I made a statement last week that I will now never ever let WWE have my money for a live performance show here in Las Vegas again.
Huh?
Not after seeing that SmackDown show. Sorry.
You gonna go to AEW in May?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Which show are they doing out here in May again? Which one
Double
is
or
it?
Nothing.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I got
They
my
have Dynamite and Rampage Wednesday, and then Double or Nothing Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, are you going?
Hell yeah!
I'm going. I got my tickets. In
I
fact,
think
I'm
I'm-
staying at MGM Wednesday night
Nice.
because
Where
it's going
they-
to be so long of a night. I'm not. The old body, man. When I get tired, I'm just going to hell to the
Where are the shows being done?
MGM Wednesday night and T-Mobile Sunday.
There you go. Excellent. All right, let's move on. A couple of more comments before we go to our break. This one will be quick. Ronda Rousey and Baszler, they won the Fatal 4-Way. It was just a showcase for Ronda. Because of her shoulder or elbow injury, she didn't do much in the match itself until getting the armbar on to get the win. I don't think I think that could have been another bathroom break match for many people, in my opinion. And again, I get they're trying to
If
build
Liv
them,
Morgan's on my TV, it's not a bathroom
but
match.
all right.
What?
Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre was probably the most physical match I've ever seen, not ever seen, but have seen in quite a long time. That match went almost, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. The chops and the blood and the chest. Oh, my God.
They slapped the hell out of each other, man. You know what? I was waiting for Monday night, man. I was hoping Monday Night Raw, they was going to come out, the three of them, get McMahon in the fucking ring and trap the shit out of him Monday night. That's what I was hoping, man. As bad as that Gestapo looks now,
Oh, my
they should
God.
trap the shit out of him. All three of them.
Yeah, it was.
Put
now-
the LA stomp on him. Yeah.
What? Yeah. Are you surprised that Gunther retained?
No,
No.
I thought he was going to retain
I
Okay.
think I called that.
So
Well,
who's
that
next?
was
Who's next now for the IC?
Shinsuke.
Shinsuke.
Interesting. How do you think they're going to build that?
I think Gunther's gonna come out, be like,
Shinsuke.
I beat everybody. I have no challengers left, and hit the violence.
Could that be the return of Randy Orton?
Another report.
They said Randy Orton's not coming back until 2024.
Yeah, I read that
Really?
also.
I didn't read that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
His
he's
back
not-
is
so he's
jacked.
still not healthy yet.
Yeah, I
I'll
read
have to-
that same report
I'll
where
have to
it's
talk to his dad. see
where the
what
headline
else going
basically
on.
said, "Don't expect him to return anytime soon." So I read the same thing.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I want to see Shinsuke get back in the fold.
That would
He's
be
too
cool.
good a talent to be sitting back.
Italian, huh?
Well, he's
Okay.
Italian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back in catering. But I like I guess the idea of I have no challenges now becomes there really is no other way to introduce the next challenger when you're starting fresh with the new feud. I get that. But I won't be upset because he held the IC belt. Initially, he was the one that took over the new design belt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's from Kyoto, Japan.
Yeah.
The-
Did his English get any
the-
better while he was away?
the home-
Probably not.
The home of the Cherry Blossom Festival.
I thought it was in Washington, D.C.
It started in Kyoto,
Oh.
Japan.
There you go.
The
All right.
chief is educated.
So, I know, I get educated. All right. So, any other thoughts on the triple threat for the IC belt, other than it being as great? I thought it was a tremendous.
One of the
match.
best matches of the weekend.
And,
Okay,
and
I
you
agree
know,
with that.
I think I think it's over because if you watched SmackDown last night, it was the Brawling Brutes
Yeah.
and the 6-man last night. So I'd say, it's over.
the individual side, but yet they still
Yes.
had Gunther and Sheamus in there with their factions going at it. So maybe it's not as done yet as we think. Maybe they did that not knowing what's going on with Drew, if they're whatever. I mean, I hope it is. It's time to move on because I think sometimes we carry on some feuds a little too long.
A little bit.
But
See, yes, Chief and Aaron both picked Gunther. See, I told you.
there you go.
Chief knows what
All
he's
right,
talking
let's talk about one more match before we go to our break for the second hour, and that is the ladies' title. Bianca Belair defeated Asuka. Thoughts on that match, fellas?
That was Ryan's bathroom break match. He legit left.
It was okay for a women's match. It was a good match. However, it was not. If we're going to compare it, it wasn't Charlotte and Rhea.
Oh no, not even
Okay.
close.
Not even close.
No.
But they had, you have to put a women's match on there for night 2. You have.
Well,
to.
yeah, especially as it's a title match.
So, I was expecting Asuka to win it. I really was. And Ronald, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I picked Asuka to win it. I never saw Bianca retaining the title, although I'm glad she has
Mhm.
from this aspect. African American
Mhm.
lady.
Mhm.
I'm very happy. We've only had one other champion,
Mhm.
African American, Ron Simmons. That's
Mhm.
it. So I'm very, very happy.
Heavyweight champ you're talking about.
Yes.
The individual champ.
I'm
Wasn't
very
Jacqueline like women's champion at one point?
Diva. That was the Divas title. He's talking about the
Women's
yeah.
champion.
Mm,
Sasha Banks.
That one I kind
Yeah.
of draw a little line on. That I realize there's some roots there, but I think isn't she more Hispanic background than
I
she?
don't know.
Sasha? No.
No,
I'm just,
Oh, I said it because the way she just. Anyway, what do I
so
know
so
about
from
culture?
from that aspect,
Yeah.
I'm glad she did retain the title.
Yeah. Was Ernie Ladd ever a heavyweight champ in WWE? No.
No, I don't think Ernie
Ernie the
Ladd.
Cat Lad. No.
He was he the Intercontinental champ?
I for some reason I have a vision in my head of him holding a belt. I don't know which one it is. May not have been with the WWE. It could have been with another company.
I know he held a belt down in Bill Watts' territory
Okay,
when he was a booker down there.
gotcha. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But I could swear I could see a picture of Ladd with the belt. But again, it may not have been a WWE belt. There you go.
What the hell belt?
That's the
Women's title.
that was
So
the
she
original.
was a
Yeah,
women's title. Okay,
Jackie. All right.
I stand corrected, Miss Jacqueline.
But still, that was how long ago did she have that title?
That's okay.
90s.
But that's okay. What I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. It's been 30 years or 20, whatever it is, since then to now
I'm just
to be
glad to see it.
representative. Yeah, and it's a year, right? She won the title a year ago, WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So I
Time
mean,
to let it go. let it
365
go.
days.
and counting. All right.
So it's time for Roman to lose his.
With that, we're going to step aside for a break at the second hour. We have 2 more matches to kind of throw around and chomp on from night number 2. And then after that, we'll figure it out from there. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Hey, everybody. I am Aaron Phillips. You are.
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDB-TV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
And Bruno.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, folks. Aaron Phillips, the Chief, and Matt Mullen here
Ford
in the house,
Best.
keeping the fort down. 702-992-3207. We are going to kind of just breeze over the last two matches from night two. But first, this announcement from Chief.
Sports cards, toys, and collectible show, Sam's Town Hotel and Casino, August 26th and 27th, and November 4th and 5th, put on by Power Play Sports and Collectibles, Mr. Scott Hosey.
That's it. Check it out. All the information is on the Facebook page for Power Play. Those are the dates. Mark your calendars, because the first one we did a couple of months ago already was very well done, and the folks that were there couldn't wait to come back and do another show. So I'm glad.
Yeah, they were happy.
Yeah,
they were even adding more stuff to the giveaways as they were going on.
That's right.
I'll be there.
We'll be there.
Chief will be there.
So will I.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. All right, real quickly, we kind of touched a little bit about this before. We know that Edge defeated Finn Balor. The match when it was a little shorter than originally designed because of the ladder issue.
Yes.
I mean, he received staples during the flipping
Yes.
match, and you knew from a TV perspective that they were paying a lot of attention to, because all they showed was Edge going from ring to ring, looking under the ring, pulling stuff out, killing time. So we knew something was going on. I didn't realize they were stapling his head back together.
I'm sure they stapled it and then put some super glue on it.
Oh, while out at the ring?
Yes.
And I noticed that after the match restarted, the doctors of the medical team were still inside the cage.
Yes.
Did I see that right?
Yes.
Just in case. So, and then he showed that gnarly picture the day after. Holy crap. But it was a good match, and now we'll see what happens with Edge and Balor.
Does Edge retire?
He said this is his last run, but I don't think he's retiring yet.
I think he wants to retire in Toronto.
I think it was the only thing I don't like about WrestleMania is on the West Coast. It's always so bright that like entrances, like if they would have done like Balor's demon entrance when it was like pitch black,
right,
and like Edge's, it would have looked way cooler. But they were trying to stall as long as humanly possible for that sun to go down.
Really interesting. That makes a lot of sense. I can see that. Yeah. And last but not least, folks, we know what went on with Roman Reigns and Cody. A very strong match, I think, but the outcome, I think, fooled me. I think I picked Cody to finally win. But again, the bloodline reigns supreme. See what I did there? Roman reigns supreme. Anyway, I'm going to segue, though, into some information that's on the WWE report. Matt, why don't you share, since we're talking about Reigns, we're always talking about his length of title hold and everything else in comparison to Bruno, but you have some great information on there. Why don't you share?
This is outstanding information.
Everyone was talking about like Cody winning and stuff, and I was like, it's getting too close to this 1,000-day thing. Like, he's got to almost hold on to this for a while. And I like looked up and I saw like a graphic. To get to 1,000 days, Roman has to hold the belt until May 27th. To beat Pedro Morales' record of 1,028 days, he has to hold it until June 24th. To beat Bruno Sammartino's first run, he has to hold it until January 20th, 2024, which is 1,238 days. To beat Hulk Hogan's longest run, he has to hold the belt until September 13th, 2024, which is 1,475 days. To beat Bob Backlund's record, he has to hold it until July 6th, 2026, 2,136 days. And to beat Bruno Sammartino's all-time record, which was his second run, he has to hold it until May 4th, 2028, which is 2,804 days.
That's great information.
But I don't think he's going to hold it much longer past the 1,000 days, because I'm almost positive Cody Rhodes finishes his story at SummerSlam.
You think SummerSlam it'll go down? Yeah, and you know, I'm going to say this. You and I beat each other up, and that's okay because we love each other. But I the one thing, as a wrestling fan, let's not forget, folks, Roman Reigns has been under some extreme medical conditions this whole time that this record's going on. Let's not ever forget that. All right.
Yeah, he may be in remission from leukemia, but that doesn't mean that everything stopped when he came back on TV and announced he was in remission. You still have a lot of aftercare to make sure that you stay healthy. So absolutely, I think that's a great point that sometimes gets lost.
Chief is the only one to pick Roman to retain.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. All right.
Pretty good, huh?
WrestleMania 39, I believe, was to be the best ever that they've had financially, if I read that correctly. They've made beaucoup dollars on the corporate sponsorships this year, from what I read as well. Next year's in Philly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That should be an interesting location to have it in as well. But
they need to do the Hall of Fame at the ECW Arena.
That would be interesting.
And put Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, my God.
And Tommy Dreamer.
I agree with that. That would be all right.
And D'Lo Brown. And Demolition. There, I gave you some names, WWE, to think about, you dumb shits. You put Stacy give me a break. Don't get me started.
You gave
now.
up your rant time.
That's okay. I'm calming down.
All right. So Monday, not only was the Raw after WrestleMania, but some news was starting to hit the fan, really going into WrestleMania weekend.
Pretty good.
What? Can we get Chief's medicine up here, please? Jeez. All right. So
Where we at?
The announcement was made officially. WWE and UFC, which is owned by Endeavor Corporation, made it official, made the big announcement that now everybody's under one happy roof, so to speak, under the Endeavor umbrella, because the owner of Endeavor maintains 51% of the new entity. Vince McMahon will maintain the balance of 49%. Initial reaction, though, on the stock market that Monday morning. Shares of WWE Inc., based in Stamford, were up 33% this year overall, but fell nearly 4% in Monday afternoon trading. Shares of Endeavor, based in Beverly Hills, slipped more than 7% on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Like I said before the show, I heard it was like about $5 or so a share.
So what does that reflect? Why, if you know, billion, I think was it nearly $7 billion was the transaction price, if I'm not mistaken. The Inc. hasn't officially dried legally on everything, even though the announcement's been done. The owner of Endeavor has said publicly that he wants Vince McMahon to stay in charge of WWE. He loves Vince and all this other stuff. Another report I read is that an offer to buy WWE also provided an option not to include Vince McMahon in moving forward. Okay. We know the aftershocks. It's been a week since all that, 5-6 days as we get to today. We hear rumblings. We hear rumblings of the fact that talent obviously is not happy. Morale dropped significantly. Talent may ask for their release. These are all things that have come. Even Bayley not showing up Monday. People are speculating. Was that because she was unhappy with the return of Vince? That's all behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. And now we have this sale. Okay. We know that eventually Vince had to sell the company. I mean, he had to do something with it, given that he's his mid-70s now, 76, 77.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, we're joking about it. We showed the picture a few times. In my opinion, he did himself no great service by dyeing his hair jet black, a mustache that is not exact. Now, granted, he's kind of talking there, so his right lip is kind of up a little bit. But when his mouth is in a non-speaking position, the mustache is not a great look. He looks like a porn star from the 70s.
He's going through a 3/4 life crisis.
I wanted to do a side-by-side of him and the young Ron Jeremy to see if that would have had the same look. But this picture right here, this look, and even his eyebrows, black. His eyes look beady right here. It's not a good look for Vince McMahon physically. Now, he looked.
I'm going to tell you, if that don't look like a guy that's on speed, I don't know what is.
Yeah, you're right. Look at his eyes. I mean, that's why I say they look beady, because you see the black of his eyes just look not normal. But
anyway, Will Richards said Endeavor overspent for the product.
Who said that?
Will Richards.
Oh, Will's in there. Okay. Overspent for the product. Well, he also says in here, leave Che McMahon alone.
Che McMahon.
I know. Che. I'm from Jersey. What do I know from vowels? Anyway, so I mean, realistically, the one thing I don't want to see as this thing progresses, I don't want to see a crossover between UFC and WWE events. I don't want to see Conor McGregor in a wrestling match.
No, I don't think they're going to cross.
I hope
Dana
not.
White already said they're not. But Endeavor seems to like buy products and leave them alone. Like that's why Dana White's still in charge of UFC and they kind of do their own thing. So I'm pretty sure it's what's going to happen with WWE. But the one thing that scares me is once that Peacock deal is up, and if WWE ends up going to ESPN Plus like UFC, we're going to end up having to pay $70 for pay-per-views again.
That will not happen. I won't spend that money again.
I won't either.
And I'll tell you what, I said before you got to the studio this morning, Chief and I were talking about Raw and how different it looked. If talent is going to start asking for their release, now whether they get it or not, it's a whole different thing. They can ask all they want, but my thought is if the show's going to go down and the morale is down and Vince is in charge, I'm a huge WWE supporter from the mid '70s. Okay. I'm not happy with what's going on as a fan, but I will jump off ship WWE. As a matter of fact, I told Chief I started watching the AEW behind the scenes show that they have now. What's like AEW Access, something like that. Because I have to admit, other than the WWE wrestlers that are now there, I don't know their talent as well as I should because of me being as busy as I am. I don't have all those hours to watch. So I'm focusing now on that, learning more about the characters. I watched the episode, half of this morning's episode, learned a little more about Tay Mello, her background, where she's from, judo and all of that. Because you know what? I'll jump ship if this thing continues to go to the crapper. And maybe Vince, as he's always said, he cares less about the shows because he's making more money on merchandise. I don't know, but I'm very concerned about the fandom of WWE with the sale with Vince back in charge. Stephanie at one point a few weeks ago said, "I will not return to WWE if my father's back in place."
Can I read?
Yeah, you got something there?
Triple H big announcement was in a few weeks. We get the annual draft. My question is, how many are going to be drafted to either AEW, Impact, New Japan, ROH, or MLW after seemingly seeing Vince back in charge?
Well, they can't be drafted anywhere unless they're out of their contract, or they pull a Naomi Sasha thing and they just walk out, but then they couldn't do anything for a couple of months anyway.
That's an interesting comment.
Oh, absolutely.
That's an interesting comment.
Now, wouldn't it be interesting if the Forbidden Door does go down during this draft?
No.
That would be crazy shit. Between, let's say between AEW and WWE. If a Forbidden Wall goes down and now you're looking at AEW, where's Miro? We know he's a name we keep bringing up that's just sitting around. They're not doing anything with the guy. So it'd be interesting to see.
Mr. Rankin's in the Billy Starks is the future. Okay.
Who's Billy Starks?
That's what I was going to ask.
John, please give us information on who that is. Ronald says rumors are that Seth has asked for his release too. All right, so we have let's be careful with all of this because we know this is rumors and it's good information to see. We have to follow through with that because if Seth has asked for his release, if Becky and Lita drop the belts on Monday, is it possible Becky then follows suit? Again, we don't know, but that's the question, right? So it'll be interesting. And I think this is going to hurt the product. And we're going to see the stock values of at least the WWE side, I think, get tremendously reduced because of wrestlers, their name wrestlers going on to. Now, again, they can ask all they want. Whether they get the release or not is another question, another answer. This is where the question of being that independent contractor thing may fall in, even though they're an IC. And they have a contract, but they still should have some ability. But I don't know. I don't know the laws of independent contractors or contracts like that. I'm not a contract attorney, but it'll be interesting to see if Seth is, let's say, the first, and Bailey, let's say maybe because there was speculation. Bailey didn't appear because she was unhappy on Monday with Vince coming back. That all of a sudden the rumors come out that Damage Control now is going to be split up, possibly soon too as well. There's a lot of stuff going on. What was the feel out in WrestleMania for any of that? Because the potential announcement on Monday had to be floating around last weekend.
Yeah, everyone was talking about, I heard it's being sold, and what if, UFC really does take it over? What's going to happen? Then people were talking about the whole streaming thing.
Well, how much longer is the Peacock contract? A year?
I'm not sure.
About a year, maybe?
Probably.
Because then they also would probably have to think about Fox and USA Network, those contracts carrying SmackDown and Raw too. That's got to be coming up within the next couple of years, I would think.
Yeah, their TV contracts are actually up pretty quickly.
Okay,
and
so
they're
they're
in the
soon.
middle of doing.
Okay. All right. John says, where is it? She just wrestled last night on AEW against Jade. That's that.
Okay.
Yeah. Billy Starks.
I know I heard that name recently.
And then Will says Seth got pulled from the ring. Right. Seth got pulled from the ring during a commercial. I didn't think he got pulled, but producers went up to him. We saw the snapshot at Raw. You can talk about this. During the commercial break, they went up to Seth.
Yeah, he just did like his thing where like everyone was singing, and then it went to commercial, and the producers were in his ear like the whole time, and then he just stood there for a minute when the cameras went off and left. And I was like, they must be saving time for something big. Just kidding.
John shares, we talked about this earlier, John, about Drew McIntyre. His contract ends up in July. I read a report this morning that, again, one of the reasons that he's not happy and thinking about not re-signing, the dollars involved. He thinks the numbers that he's being offered is not what he's worth. And also, he says creative, where the direction now of his character is going to be going is also probably because they're keeping him at a main event picture, I would think.
Yeah.
This here is from itnwwe.com.
Okay.
Seth Rollins has informed in an interview in 2021 that his WWE contract has 2 to 3 years more. We can expect his contract to end around WrestleMania 2024.
So next year. So he has about a year left.
About a year left.
Okay. But again, even if he asks for his release, it's a matter of whether it gets granted at all. They don't have to release him. He hasn't missed time for injury, so it's not like they have to put dates on the end of his contract.
If they release a wrestler, can WWE put in there that like a non-compete clause?
They all
Pretty
have
much
to.
everybody has a 90-day non-compete clause unless you let if they're released, you have a 90-day non-compete clause in WWE, 30 days in NXT.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let your contract just go,
right,
totally,
and you can like debut somewhere the next day.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
if it's totally done and over with.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because then they have no commitment left at that point if the contract just runs out.
Okay.
So, which again is why, like a Vicky Guerrero in AEW is just
Yeah.
sitting home until the contract.
That's a
runs
damn
out.
shame.
It would have been nice to see her make an appearance.
Yeah.
In the Dominic and Ray storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? All right. One of the journalists asked Roman about the potential sale during the press conference after WrestleMania. He didn't really care to answer. He said, "I don't know nothing, and I was worried about prepping for the match." That was the kind of response, and I don't blame him for having that kind of reply, even if he did know something or had a feeling about it.
I like how I did the interview and they're asking him about the bloodline storyline, and he goes, "If this is baseball, we're in like the third inning." He's like, "There's a lot more coming. It's going to be the best storyline anyone's ever seen in their life."
And it has been that, I think, thus far for what is it, a minimum of a year at least.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even now, even injecting with the Sammy situation, and now you got the thing with what's going to happen with Jay and Jimmy. There was a little something the other night, So he's 1,000,000% correct. There's so many different directions that storyline can certainly go. All right. Anything else on the sale you guys want to bring up, think about, mention, care to mention? Do-si-do and around we go.
No.
Okay.
With the price of UFC tickets too, I wonder if like ticket prices for WWE events are going to start going up too.
How well attended are MMA events versus WWE shows? Do you know? I mean, like a
Bigger
card
fights always sell out.
in terms of how many people, like in attendance.
Like T-Mobile Arena,
So still the
Madison
same.
Square Garden.
So still the same mid-teens, 15, 17,000 people. Okay. So I'm just thinking about the attendance difference. Now, the size of an MMA ring, UFC ring, with the round, approximately how big is that in comparison to the squared circle? Is it a smaller area for these?
bigger.
The actual fighting area is bigger?
I think so.
Okay.
Because on like the outside where like the ring girls go around and the trainers
all
and
right.
stuff.
Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure that's bigger, but
Okay. I don't know. I've never seen a match live. I'm not an MMA guy, but I'm curious to know some of the differences because what you just said. Let's say if WWE can bring in 15,000 people, but an MMA event sell out, and again, guys, I'm just throwing numbers out here for the sake of conversation, because the area that they need is bigger in MMA, and you lose 1,000 seats. WWE is still going to make better bank based on attendance and merchandising, supposedly,
True.
than UFC. I don't think UFC has nearly the number of celebrity stars that a WWE has in terms of merchandise.
Well, as far as
You think WWE has more merch
WWE
value?
has like more merch value, but UFC does have they had a lot of star power, and they're like front row tickets, like $2,000-$3,000.
Will responds to my question about the ring size. He says, depends on the type of UFC event. Pay-per-views seem to have a larger cage than a regular TV card. So, all right, that's cool. I appreciate that feedback. If you guys are ready, you want to do some birthdays?
Sure.
Well, what are you giggling about up there? What do you say? Oh, John Rankin says, wake up, Matt. You made me yawn too, LOL.
Sorry,
Listen,
I got off at midnight.
I was going to say we got to give Matt a little slack here with the weekend he had and the driving and trying to catch up and working back in his normal routine. We'll give Matt a little slack. So it's all good. It's all good.
Put me to sleep too. Yeah.
Oh, well, you better not fall asleep back there. Anyway, all right. It is time. It is April 8th. Next Friday is the 14th. That means it's time for some birthdays. Happy birthday to one of my pocket aces. On Aaron's hour in the coming weeks. Ready to go. But today, April 8th, not only are we doing birthdays, but today we're going to announce some other wonderful celebrations. First birthday, Robbie Ellis celebrates a birthday today with anybody else who's out there celebrating. We have a couple of wedding anniversaries we want to acknowledge. Hacksaw and Deborah Duggan, they're celebrating an anniversary today. And of course, Carrie and Scarlett, their wedding anniversary 1 year as well. Happy anniversary to you all as well. April 9th, our current ladies champ, Bianca Belair, celebrating a birthday. April 10th, if you're celebrating a birthday, you're celebrating with Paul Bearer, Jesse Neal, Juice Robinson, Angelo Poffo, father of Randy and
Randy and the Genius.
Lanny Poffo.
You're welcome.
April 11th, Harley Race, Dustin Rose, the aforementioned Dusty Rhodes, Balls Mahoney, and Fire. And also on February 11th would have been another birthday for my dear departed friend and John's friend, my partner from Vegas Home Rap, Mr. Ricky Cash, would have celebrated another birthday on April 11th. April 12th, well, apparently nobody was busy 9 months prior to that because we have nobody to mention there. April 13th, Antonio Rocco, Christian York, Sir Mo. Wasn't it Sir Duke? Oh, wait, that's a song. Monty Brown, Stan the Man.
Wasn't that Python?
Stan the Man Stasiak. And on April 14th, the day before tax day, if tax 15th is on a weekend, taxes are due the following Monday, right? Filing is how they do it.
Yeah.
Lita, Brian Adams, Marina Shafir, and Julio De Niro. Does that mean he has a lot of money? You can bank on Julio De Niro.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to all of you. Celebrate birthday with all of these people. Hope you all have a please. Oh, by the way, happy Passover to everybody who's in the middle of celebrating matzah season.
Yes.
And tomorrow, of course, is Easter. Want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Enjoy family time this weekend as well. Most schools are out for this weekend here in Las Vegas and Clark County.
They're off Monday too, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Since Thomas is not here and he is at Albertsons, if you guys can please go find the egg aisle and you grab a dozen eggs and you launch them at Thomas to celebrate Easter, or from everybody at Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Or grab a turkey and slide it down aisle 7 and play bowling. And it'll be good. Mr. Aaron will be back with you in a minute. He's reading an email I just got from a friend of mine who found out that his 15 or 16-year-old son has lymphoma B.
Oh, no.
So,
well, our prayers and hearts and hugs go out to that family. We're not going to mention any names.
No, we're not.
Although I do want to send a special shout out to our good friend, Mr. Palmer, Jamie Palmer out there. Just let you know we're thinking about you.
Yes, sir.
Hope all is well. We'll drop a hello. We'll talk about that off the air with him. If he does, is that what you're going to share to him about Jamie?
Yeah.
I didn't want to catch it on the mics.
Okay.
Wait till after.
Yeah.
So we'll wait till after. Anyway, so here's what I want to say about things like this and just reach out to people. Somebody you haven't called or messaged or spoken to in a while, just reach out and say hello, because you never know what that difference is going to make in somebody's life. So, all right, Bron Breakker turned heel on NXT this past week, attacking Carmelo Hayes after he lost the belt the night before, right? Or at Saturday also. So I'm surprised he didn't show up at Raw. Were you guys expecting him to be a call-up this week? I was.
1,000%. I thought Bron Breakker, thought there was going to be like Austin Theory was going to have like a U.S. title open challenge, and Bron Breakker was going to come out.
I thought for sure Braun was going to come up, Gargano's going to be back on TV, and Tommaso Ciampa was coming up. That's who I thought was going to show up somewhere on one of the shows this week. But
no.
But due to the Gestapo guy, none of it happened. Hey, I need a shirt, Gestapo guy. Nah, I don't know.
I won't wear it.
Yeah, wear that out.
No.
Have fun.
I won't wear it.
No.
I'm a Gestapo guy. I know what I'm making when I get to work.
Freaking Vince McMahon.
A play on Paul Heyman. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I'm a Gestapo. I can't wear it. I won't wear it. But anyway, if you come up with something funny along those lines without being obvious, I'm okay with it. All right, here's something I didn't know, and I missed this, and this is pretty interesting. Saraya was fined for using the word twat on Dynamite, calling fans a bunch of neck beard stinky twats.
They are, though.
Send your hate mail to Matt.
She go around to 4 wrestling shows.
Who was he fined?
Be thankful she isn't British.
She is British.
She is.
Mustache.
Well, then be thankful she didn't use the real word.
Mustache looks like paintbrush.
Say that again.
Mustache looks like paintbrush.
Looks like somebody's old eyebrow.
Yeah.
No, who fined her? AEW
Groucho
or the
Marx.
TV?
I think TV.
TV. The TV stations did TBS and Company. That's interesting. I did not know
Really?
that. Yeah.
Why?
FTR wins. Did you not hear? Why? Because it was.
Because they get fined.
I heard.
Oh,
come on, let's go.
Let's talk about AEW in London, Wembley Stadium. I'll talk about that. That was Tony Khan's big announcement last week. 90,000 people would be a sellout. Any chance? First of all, the question is, any chance of even selling out 90,000? Any chance of them selling 45,000 tickets for that event?
AEW, as much as I want them to succeed, they are not selling 90,000 tickets. They're going to spend a lot of money on tarps.
It's
covering seats.
My opinion. It's all according to how big over in that part of the world.
Yeah.
Supports AEW.
Yeah.
But even then, Money in the Bank is in London the month before.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's going to put a hurting on them right off the jump.
Yeah, so why would Tony Khan go to Wembley a month after Money in the Bank?
Why not?
Just because of what Matt said. If everybody's going to be spending their money in WWE, that may put their event in Wembley a month later in trouble, right?
Especially considering their economic condition at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that people, the vast majority of the countries over there are okay financially. You look at WrestleMania here and the different people that fly from all over the world to come to WrestleMania. I would say that the same people could, even though it is a month later, I won't say all of them, but I'd say the vast majority could fly back into England, into Wembley to see the show.
Well,
I'm not going to say 90,000.
Right.
Let's put it this way. I think if they were to put 50,000 people in seats, in my mind, it would be a success.
Yeah.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, hon.
You missed all the action. Anyway, no, I'm only kidding.
I didn't do
But
nothing
I
wrong
want to
today.
No, he's been very well behaved, Liz. You can go back and watch the show for yourself and your own opinion. Anyway, no, he has been good. Anyway,
I'll call you right after the show.
So here's a comparison of last year's Unicon that we were at with Scott and Company.
Yes,
right?
sir.
He and Who?
Rob.
Rob.
Yeah.
They had dates set, but then there was another event very similar to Unicon that was like week or two before Unicon.
Yeah.
They moved the date specifically because it was two big events on top of each other.
Yeah.
And that's similar to what you're talking about between Money in the Bank and AEW Wembley.
Yeah.
What?
I guess.
I was trying to create that battle.
Oh.
So I
didn't pick up on it.
Obviously. Now that
Sorry.
Liz is in the room, you're not listening to anything we're saying.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that's the kind of comparison. I think the show, if it was all by its
accurate.
Oh my God, that's something that I wish we had seen before the show. We could
That's
put it
good.
up.
I like that.
I don't know if you know what. Hold that up. Maybe John, can you switch to Matt's one camera while he holds his
And
visual up?
as I say, I really feel if AEW can put 50,000,
I think it would be a.
I think it would be
there
a
you go.
success.
I don't know if you can zoom in on that. I agree with you. I think. Oh, there you go.
That was the
Look at
most
that.
accurate thing of WrestleMania weekend ever.
Yeah, that's a great depiction of that weekend.
Accurate.
Absolute. Whoever did that, whoever that was, let's give him credit for crying out loud. No, but I agree. That if they can get 50,000 in after Money in the Bank, I think it would be a successful event for them.
Yeah.
Because they went to the New York tennis thing last
Yeah.
year.
Arthur
Now,
Ashe.
Arthur Ashe, thank you.
Stadium.
So what do they get? What do they hold there? 10,000 maybe for that tennis facility, the main court, about
Yes,
10,000.
Yes.
And they sold that out.
And then the perfect place people fail to realize, the perfect place for AEW to go
Mhm.
would be Madison Square. Sell Madison Square out, do the overflow
Oh, like the old time,
like the old time.
right? Closed circuit. That's the word I was thinking of earlier.
You could put 40,000 people
Right in MSG.
in MSG.
Plus, that'll never happen as long as Vince McMahon's in control of WWE. We know that WWE, and because they
But
wanted to get in there, the AEW wanted to get in there previously, and McMahon shot it down with MSG.
But here's
Dolan and company.
But let me ask you a question.
Sure.
With this new supposed contract and everything, does being that Vince is not the majority, will not be the majority stockholder, and there's another company that's up here, does that possibly null and void the WWE contract with Madison Square?
I say no because it seems to me under this new umbrella, WWE will still run as WWE in name, as will UFC.
Yeah.
And so when and the owner, the new guy from the Endeavor side, he said Vince is running the wrestling side. So I don't think, because AEW tried to get into MSG when they were looking at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, didn't they?
Yeah.
And when that started breaking, McMahon called up Dolan over there, the owner, and said, "Hey, you can't do this. You're not getting no. This is WWE's home." And yet I agree that I wish more wrestling was being done at MSG
You got to know
because WWE is not there enough to really make it their home anymore.
you got to know Dolan though,
Allegiant
and
Stadium.
I'll just leave it at that.
For who? AEW?
Yeah.
I would AEW coming out someday to do Allegiant Stadium, but that's 70,000 people there. I don't know if they'd even sell that out.
No.
But it's Vegas, baby.
Well, they do events out here, but they do it in the smaller arenas and they do well.
I'll say it again. I think if they can put 50,000,
And call it a success.
I think they could
Mhm.
call it a success.
Yeah.
I really do.
Now, WWE's been out at Wembley, correct, in the past?
Yes.
92
And
for
they
SummerSlam.
sold it out.
So that was my question.
Yeah.
What success did WWE
They,
have at
they
Wembley in the
sold
past?
they sold it out. They sold it out.
So if 50,000 people is a success for AEW versus WWE selling it out, is it really a success for AEW then? If you want to compete on WWE's level, you got to sell out Wembley like WWE did.
I don't disagree with you, but I'll give you a little insight on something.
You have a minute left to share your
Okay.
wisdom, sir.
Whose mom and dad owns a wrestling company over in the British Isles?
Sarai.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's the wrestling. That's not on the level of anybody
That's
else.
like the equivalent of saying,
No. Do you know what how well her mom and dad are respected
Oh,
over there?
Sure.
That'll be able to draw fans in.
But they live in a really. I totally understand. And I agree with you. They have a lot of. They're well known out there. I don't know if it's enough to put another 50,000 butts in a seat to sell out Wembley.
Well, if some of these contracts run out, it'd be interesting to see.
They run in
what
such
happens.
small towns. That's like the equivalent of saying a certain promoter in Vegas is going to help sell out WrestleMania in Vegas.
But if I remember,
And we all know he ain't doing that.
But if I remember right, I believe fellas like Sheamus and Drew McIntyre and some of that crowd wrestled for that promotion, and it'd be interesting if contracts ran out.
Yeah,
to see
but I
what
don't see that. I
happens.
wouldn't see them going over to Soraya's parents kind of.
No, but I could see him going over to.
Would it increase and help attendance? Absolutely. I don't know if it's enough. Again,
It's going to be
If
interesting.
his contract
to
was
see.
up and he debuts at All In London,
But if he debuts without any warning, like
they'd
it's a
have to get-
surprise return, you're not selling out Wembley.
Nah.
If they announce ahead of time that he is signed, Drew McIntyre's all elite, different story.
yeah.
And I agree with that.
Or Sheamus.
Well, any of them. If they're secret, if they're being.
But I
held
don't see
pri-
Sheamus. I don't see Sheamus because of the Brawling Brutes. Drew, I could see. I could see Seth and
Becky.
Becky.
I see them going to AEW first.
Just
If
my,
that's-
I,
And if Bailey gets released, she's going to go wherever Sasha is.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, folks, we got to shut it down. Another great show talking about WrestleMania and whatnot, and sharing Matt's time there. We didn't even show all the pictures, did we?
no, next week.
Next week. We'll save them for
And,
more for
and
next
you know
week.
what? Welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
I missed
Absolutely.
you. I
Glad to be
really
back.
did miss you.
Absolutely. Jennifer, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. At the top of the hour, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I am the host of Gutsy Travelers coming on. Christina,
Travelers.
look what you're making me do.
Christina
Katz, great show.
Christina
Talking about
Katz.
having guts
Yeah.
to do things in life. All right. Final thoughts, Mr. Matt.
Everybody have a good, safe week. It's starting to warm up here in Vegas. Drink water. Don't end up in an ambulance. See y'all next week.
At least not on Matt's watch. Chief?
Hey, everybody. Good seeing you this week. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed being with you. Y'all come back next week. And for everybody, happy Easter.
Absolutely. As Chief and Matt said, thank you for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to check us out, thoughtscananywhere.com. Go to the shop tab. Check out all the merchandise. You never know when something new is going to pop up because Matt is just that good. That's why.
Yeah.
Be kind to everybody. Wise out. We're all we have. We'll see you next week here on Thoughts Count Anywhere, and I'll see you all back again at the top of the hour. Thank you for watching.